Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Brew. It is Friday. Your week is finally in the bag. And what a better way to start than by seeing my beautiful face. No, not my beautiful face. You care more about Jamie's beautiful face than you care about mine. But it is the Morning Brew here live on Brew Sports. We welcome you in. I am Baxter Colburn. That's Jamie Evers. Jamie, good morning. How are you today?
Good morning. Good. Excited that it's Friday.
I know. The week I feel like it's kind of flown by. I know we've only been on the air 3 days this week, but still I feel like we've done so much in our 3 days that we've been together on the air, though. Doesn't it feel like that almost?
Yeah. A lot of learning in the last 3 days. A lot of stuff going in my brain.
A lot of stuff, a lot of craziness, but Brew Sports week 1 basically is almost in the bag. We've had so much great content. We've got even so much more happening later on throughout the day as well, too, so make sure you continue to come back throughout the day to check it out. But a special thanks to everybody that has made this opening week so exciting and so great, honestly, overall as well, too. If you want to interact with anything that we do during the broadcast, make sure you comment below on our stream here on Facebook. Of course, you can also use the hashtag Brew Sports as well to interact with us. I'm on Twitter at Baxter Colburn.
And I am at _Jamie Evers.
_ Jamie Evers.
Nope, Jamie _ Evers.
I was going to say, you're starting it with an underscore. I was like, holy cow. I just _ J. Like, oh, okay. I don't know. People do the weird things with the underscore. That always throws me off. I'm like, just get a name that you don't have to throw an underscore in.
People, I don't know why I put an underscore. Well, probably because my name ends in 2 E's, and then my last name starts with an E.
Makes sense.
Too many E's.
Too many E's altogether. That'd be like Jamie Evers. People would start to get confused. Be like, where does the name start and end? People would probably call you like J, like Evers or something. Because if they didn't know, you would probably
Jamie Evers.
Something like that.
Yeah.
That would be a little strange. But hey, blame your parents, I guess, for the weird name. I've got a name like Baxter. You spell your name differently than most people spell Jamie as well, too. Did you ever ask your parents about that? Be like, why Jaymee?
I didn't until I started bartending. People were like, is that really how your name is spelled?
Yeah.
I'm like, yep.
Promise.
It's real.
Scout's honor.
It's on my birth certificate. My mom said she just wanted to find something different. It's pretty different.
And she got you.
Yeah.
So you are pretty different.
I am.
In a good way, of course. I mean, my parents named me after, my parents named me after their favorite restaurant in college.
Okay.
Fun fact.
Baxter.
Just Baxter's.
The restaurant.
Yeah, just Baxter's.
Okay.
They went to school in Green Bay, Wisconsin, and they're like, oh, we used to go to Baxter's all the time, and we loved it. And we were like, let's use that as our name for you. I'm like, okay.
Much more interesting of a story than Jamie.
My parents were interesting when it came to a lot of this. I still don't know the story behind my middle name, Quentin. They said I think it was the name of some famous actor at the time's kid that they just had was Quentin. And they're like, oh, we like Quentin, so. I don't know. I kept Quentin for my son just because I'm like, well, I've got Quentin, so I'm going to give him Quentin. So we kept the same initials, so it makes sense.
It does make sense, yeah.
Depending on how you look at it.
Yeah, I'm Jamie Marie. Super basic.
Super basic, but you're not a basic girl, though, are you? Though, are you super? Are you the pumpkin spice?
No,
like,
I hate pumpkin
Ugg
anything.
Boots?
I don't know. I used to have Ugg boots. Now
times have changed.
Yeah,
is what you're saying.
Super mature. Gotcha. Not basic.
I am a grown-up, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. A couple of people saying hi to us on Facebook this morning. Good morning, Corey. Thanks so much for watching. Aaron says, I just apparently need to just get a new name. I'm not
super basic Aaron name.
Seriously, like, come on. That's like the most like common name, like Aaron, Brian, Jake, John, Will. Like, those are the most basic names you could possibly get. Like, at least mix it up and do like Aron or Erin. But that's more like your girl, though. It's like Iran or or H. AIR, like air on. There you go. Just anyway, if you've got a basic name you want to hear, comment from us below. Apparently Aaron's saying he was making fun of me for telling Jamie how basically to get a new name. I wasn't saying you had to get a new name. I was just saying that your parents should have done better. No, I'm not going to say that. I'm sure your parents are wonderful.
They're all right.
They raised you. You turned out pretty good. You have a job. You're a stand-up citizen in society. For the most part that we know of. You're doing good stuff. All right, well, let's dive into some of the stuff here in our first segment, in our What's Brewing segment, where we bring you some of the hottest and most interesting stories to kick off your day. You went to school here in Wisconsin, right? You went to college in Wisconsin, basically. Yep. I went to school up here in Wisconsin as well, too. Did your campus have any fun, unique things that made your campus cool? Like, hey, guys, you should come to this school because we've got this. Nothing? You didn't have any like cool student union buildings or like levitating cafeteria tables? We had Taco
Bell. That was.
You had a Taco Bell in your campus?
Yeah.
Ugh, I'm sorry.
Right. Didn't eat there, but there wasn't any draw. No.
Nothing? Yeah, my campus didn't really have much of anything. I went to a small liberal arts college, so not a whole lot going on there either. But for those of you that go to the University of Central Florida, I lived in Florida for 8 years, so shout out to all my Golden Knights out down there. I actually don't like UCF, but whatever. That's besides the point. Apparently, UCF is deciding to step their game up a notch, and they're going to build a lazy river on their campus.
Yep, inside of their student, what is it? The student village.
The student village. This isn't like the Olympic athletes. Village. So
probably about going to be similar, I would assume.
So I don't understand. So, I mean, UCF is an okay school. They're most notable for football. Aside from that, they really don't do a whole lot in the sports world. But Florida, Orlando as a whole is a very big hub when it comes to the sports world as a whole. You've got a lot of professional athletes, a lot of professional teams, all that fun business. But putting in a lazy river in the middle of your school, in your student village, basically, seems a bit much, doesn't it?
The student village in itself seems a little ridiculous. Like, you need a special place for these athletes to go to relax. Like, why can't the non-athletes use a lazy river? Like, that's what I would be the most upset about, and I would definitely break in.
Well, this seems to be a trend in college sports as well, too. Oregon spent $138 million when they built one of their new complexes. It has ventilated locker rooms from Germany, Brazilian wood floors, and Italian lounge chairs in a barber shop.
Right.
They've got a barber shop.
That's what got me on that one.
Alabama, of course, Roll Tide. They countered with 4 waterfalls in their hydrotherapy room, an anti-gravity treadmill. Clemson threw another $55 million out as well, upgrading their facility to feature a mini golf course, a bowling alley, and laser tag.
And a slide.
And a slide.
Yeah.
How are these schools still winning national championships and doing things? I'd be like, sorry, guys, I was bowled a 300. Was I supposed to be a practice coach?
Yeah,
my bad.
I also don't understand, like, if you're great, they're obviously doing this to attract athletes, right?
Of course. I would assume so.
I mean, if I was good at football and there was a lazy river, I'd be like, you know where to find me, coach? Like, I would not do my homework. I would just lay in that lazy river, get my nice tan on.
Seriously.
But I don't understand if you're good, isn't that enough? Like,
I would like to assume so.
They don't get paid, so...
This is the thing, because they don't get paid, but you get all this other stuff. Good morning, Jonathan, on Facebook. Thanks for tuning in, by the way. You look at this, and you're just like, why?
Right.
Why do you need this? I get some of the facilities, like having the really good, things to recover as an athlete. Like, hey, we've got these... the anti-gravity treadmills, that stuff is important, especially for physical therapy and all that. But, you don't need a mini golf course. You don't need, if it's just for the athletes. I get it. If it's a school-wide thing where it's everybody can come and use our really cool, levitating pool tables or whatever, jetpack, whatever is your, I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised after a while if that kind of stuff happens. But the fact that you're limiting it just to the athlete village, I feel like there's going to be issues with people trying to sneak and be like, I promise I'm an athlete.
Right.
I'm going to just go ride the lazy river. It's you play tennis.
Do you need a pass? What
about
the badminton players that we're talking about in the Olympics? They had to start somewhere.
It's true.
Do they get to use the lazy river?
They better. If UCF has a badminton team, it'd be like, it's a sport.
Right.
But do the cheerleaders get to go play? Is cheerleading a sport?
Yeah.
I'm sure
they better.
They'll find a way, I'm sure.
This is my +1.
Yes, yep, exactly. So kind of crazy, honestly. So basically, obviously they can't afford the $138 million that Oregon is doing, of course. But when you can put a lazy river in, you look at Florida as a whole, it's about $25 million is what it looks like.
I found on the Washington Post that in 2014, the top 5 power schools spent $772 million on athletic facilities.
God. Shut the front door.
$772 million. The number is just...
So just to put this in perspective, so the $25 million that you're seeing that UCF is going to put into this, UNICEF could buy 29 million vaccines. Children of the nations could provide 2 million chickens for family to have self-renewing food resource. There's a lot of different things. Malaria kills around 450,000 people a year. Most of those children, could be then taken care of. Malaria shots are $250 a pop. So you feel like there's this money that could really go someplace else.
Right. Do they need a lazy river? They'll build their own lazy river once they get to the NFL. Yeah.
Walk to the Atlantic.
The ocean's
go to
right
a community
there.
pool.
Disney World.
Something. Happiest place in the freaking world, right?
Never been.
Me, I've been there once. It's overrated.
Yeah. I feel like it's crowded. I don't really care about princesses or like Goofy. Yeah.
Fun fact. A lot of Asians. People don't understand, like, the Asian population loves Disney World. It's
probably
insane.
Like the anime thing. It's people in costume.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Liz apparently says that these figures are just pocket change. I mean, when you're a high roller like Liz is, I guess you can afford to just throw your money around and build lazy rivers. I don't have a lazy river at my house.
Neither.
If we have this kind of pocket change and my wife isn't telling me about it, I would certainly love to put a lazy river in our house.
Liz, I had to bring my own creamer today, and you're talking about bringing lazy rivers around? Come on, girl.
Some people live a life different than the rest of us, I guess. But Aaron also says, well, when you're running a sweatshop like the NCAA athletics, there's tons of money to spare. And Liz agrees with that. And Corey says a sweatshop with waterfalls and lazy rivers. I mean, as long as you make your workers feel special, that's all that matters.
Right.
Be like, hey, you worked hard, you brought in billions of dollars for us. Here's a little waterfall.
Here's a pair of Beats and a
yeah, but we're not going to pay you.
Right.
You know, but here's a car. Kind of a thing, you know. So UCF is just triggering a lot of people, basically, when it comes to that. Some of the other things that are brewing this morning, have you seen the videos of the trick shot PE teacher?
I did, just a glance.
It's very interesting. So this guy is shooting trick shots. Basically, he's a PE teacher, and he's just walking around the gym. He's using, like, baseball bats. If you've ever seen the Dude Perfect videos, it's very similar to that, but this is a gentleman that some people might say maybe isn't as qualified as what the guys at Dude Perfect do on a daily, weekly basis, basically. But, people were making the jokes saying just like, well, I would never want to be late to his class because, I mean, if he can do everything, basically, and then some, it's kind of funny. But it is always funny how it's like somebody makes a shot behind their head or somebody, like, hits a ball, like, with a golf club, hitting a basketball half court, and it goes in. It's like, oh, my gosh, like, our society is so, like, hungry for stuff like that.
Instant pleasure at the end when you're excited for them.
Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Like, people do that in professional sports all the time. There was an OKC player that made a half-court shot last night at the buzzer. Like, good for him.
Yeah, and being a teacher, like, he's like, oh, I'm teaching them how to be healthy and showing them this cool stuff. Is it like, hey, guys, if you run a mile in under 10 minutes, I'm going to make this basket. Like, I liked gym class. Reason number one, I had the biggest crush on my gym teacher. Reason number two,
I was homeschooled. I didn't have that option.
Ooh, your mom didn't make you, like, set up, like, an obstacle course?
No. I'm saying I didn't have the option to have a crush on my teacher. That's considered weird.
Yeah.
And welcome back to the Morning Brew. We got so excited about tubing and doing all these other crazy things that somebody unplugged an audio cord, and all of a sudden we were just off the air for a hot moment. So no big worries.
We're back.
Jamie, I had to bring her back because she was already out the door with the tube in her hand going, I'm going to UCF. And I said, no, Jamie, don't go. We need to still finish the show. So this is what happens when we get very excited. We need to find the level, Jamie, of excitement and relaxing in the morning because, we need to be a little bit more professional. We can't be talking about lazy rivers and all that other crazy stuff.
So sorry.
Get it together.
Got it.
I expect better.
It's the coffee.
Yeah, slide it away. God. I'm done, basically. All right, transitioning gears. One other final thing to wrap up the What's Brewing segment. Did you hear what the Cleveland Browns have been doing to test draft prospects at the NFL Combine this week?
Card games?
Card tricks, basically.
Like memory? Like you remember when you were a kid?
Yeah.
Like go fit? Like what?
Or like you're like finding the queen, basically, like playing the little like dice games.
Yeah.
Like I don't know exactly, but somebody, Nate Atkins on Twitter said Indiana guard Dan Feeney said that the Browns spent his interview playing card tricks in order to test his memory, and he says analytics, man, which makes sense. I mean, the NFL is a complex thing when you really break it down. People think that all you have to do is hit people and put a ball in the end zone. It's really not that simple, unfortunately. There's so much more that goes into it in terms of the plays that you have to remember, the schemes, the who you have to block. Like if you don't know this, if you're not on top of it, the hand signals, like people, quarterbacks can go to the line and they say one word, like Omaha, like that changes everything at one time.
I mean, this isn't his first rodeo. Like he's
True.
played, he's done this without card tricks before and it's gotten him this far.
It's true.
Like, do you really need, like personally, I don't want to maybe offended, be like, come on now.
Come on.
Don't you want to see if I'm going to win that island instead? Like that's what I would be worried about. Not go fish.
And honestly, at this point, too, if you are Cleveland, maybe you're just testing people to see, you're too smart to play for us. We don't want you on our team. We need to keep a standard.
That could be.
What if all these years Cleveland was purposely sabotaging themselves to not be good?
Maybe.
Someone's got to suck.
Maybe they have people betting on them to suck for so long that they're scaring people away to be suckier.
Like, we want to continue to be suckier, so that way people don't get excited about us and don't actually care.
And then all of a sudden, one year,
and they're just going to come out of the air undefeated, break every record. They'll be like, Tom Brady, who?
Mm-hmm. And they're going to have an island on their hands.
Boom. Mm-hmm. If this guy, I don't think an offensive lineman's going to get the record. But all right, it's Friday. Do you do any fun Instagram posts on Fridays? Do you do a little hashtag action, little any of that business?
No.
Not really, no. Little
too basic for me.
But you're too basic for you. I was going to say, you said you were a basic person.
Too basic. I'm not that basic. I'm a little basic.
You're a smidge basic, basically. But so today is Flashback Friday on the show, where we are going to basically look back at the week that was in Brew sports and the sports world as a whole. The big thing that I feel like needs to be talked about that really wasn't resolved, and you said you actually had people calling and texting you after our show yesterday, giving you a piece of their mind.
Yep.
And the big debate is, what exactly is a taco? And people might be like, that has nothing to do with the sports world. But I said it has to do with Brew sports and the sports world. We talked about this yesterday. Ty Lawson, Sacramento Kings, got sick after he had some sketchy bomb-ass tacos, apparently, and then got Demetriosis. Had to miss a game. He was out. But that helped us debate the taco thing. Is a taco a burrito? Is it what? I don't know.
Yes.
We were left hanging, and I need answers, Jamie.
So I got a text yesterday. Hey, watch your show. Good job. By the way, a burrito is a taco. So I Googled it. Definition of a taco is a Mexican dish consisting of a fried tortilla, typically folded, filled with various mixtures such as seasoned meat, beans, lettuce, and tomatoes.
Okay.
Also never had beans on a taco, so
that sounds
the dictionary's
strange.
wrong.
Yeah.
Burrito.
You're wrong, Webster.
Yeah. A Mexican dish consisting of a rolled tortilla around fillings, typically beans, ground beef, or shredded beef.
So what does this mean?
Mic drop.
I mean, don't drop this
I
mic,
won't.
but
Looks
we
nice.
need to give you like a fake mic. There you go. Boom, done.
It means it's the same thing. One is folded and one is rolled.
Then why do we call it different things?
I don't know.
It's kind of like, is a hot dog
tomato, tomato, potato, potato.
People say potato,
I
potato.
don't know.
I was gonna say,
Do they?
I have potato. I don't think so. I mean,
No.
I've always felt like, but what about a hard shell taco? It's not a burrito.
Yeah, but what
So
are
are we
the,
saying
what are
that-
the
are we
things
saying
that are
that-
flat?
So are we saying
Tostada?
that tortilla?
No, a tostada, like they're hard. Tostada.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes.
Yeah, so a tostada and a hard shell taco are the same.
I mean, I suppose.
You want me to Google it? Because I'll ask Webster again.
Webster seems
got
to
my
be
back.
the end-all, be-all, know-all, all of all
I'm
sort
gonna
of
say
things, honestly.
They're the same. And an enchilada is an enchilada, Simon. It's like the cousin of a taco.
An enchilada. I mean, the Mexican dishes, I feel like, can go all over the place. But, I mean, people make you can't really make an argument about a lot of other things. They're like pasta. Pasta's pasta. Like,
Right, because there's noodles.
Exactly. But then we have ramen. Then we have all the things that the
But it's
Chinese
still
and Asians
pasta,
do. It's still
it's still
pasta.
noodles.
Though. It is, exactly. Like chow mein, lo mein sort of thing. Liz apparently is saying Baxter versus Jaymee. I'm not exactly sure what that means. Like, have we raced yet? That's what Liz wants to know. No, we have not raced yet, Liz. Jaymee was wearing boots yesterday, and she was like,
Still got boots.
See? You have to race barefoot in the hall or something like that. Corey says hashtag tacos matter. I mean, if tacos want to be different, in 2017, if you want to identify as a taco, you have that right.
I saw this article yesterday, nothing to do with sports or tacos.
Even better.
This guy in LA got $50,000 worth of surgery done on his face to look like an alien so that he could be genderless.
I'm sorry,
It was the craziest thing I've ever seen. And he literally, big head, no eyebrows.
Why?
Because
Who has that kind of money to just be like...
And he's only 22. Like, where are you getting this money?
Where'd you get $50,000 by 22?
Yeah.
Was he like an attorney? Was he just
Nope. And now he's like a model or something. He's a makeup artist.
How do you model as an alien?
I don't know.
I feel like the alien market can't be that good.
Right.
And it's not like George Lucas is firing off more Star Wars movies or Star Trek movies. Like, there's not a huge demand for that kind of thing.
So, taco, alien, I think you can pick whatever you want to be. I'm good with being a girl.
If you had to start one, sit one, cut one, what would you do? Let's start the
Start
taco.
Yeah. Sit the...
You got to cut
Me.
the alien.
Get out here.
We'll keep Jaymee. We'll sit you.
Yeah.
We'll cut the alien.
Yeah,
basically.
give me your 50 G's you just spent. We talk about money on the show a lot.
We do. It's really weird, honestly. I mean, but it's Friday, though. This is what happens when you flash back to Friday. Was there anything else that we talked about throughout the sports week? I mean, we talked about the NFL offseason, talked about Colin Kaepernick rule changes in baseball. We've talked about all kinds of crazy stuff.
Yeah. Nothing else that I think
No?
the baseball rules are, I saw that they have 7 new ones that are going to.
They're trying to speed up the game, which is the funny part, because for those of you that didn't know, of a 3-hour baseball game, 18 of those minutes are actual game playing time. So if you're trying to, I don't know what you're trying to speed up. You're trying to speed up the overall duration.
Right. Maybe if they ran faster from the outfield in.
Those guys take their sweet time. They're just inning's over. Right. I'm going to just walk. I'm going to send a text, Snapchat with a fan. Like, hey, come on.
But some of the rule changes, I saw, what was it? That the base coaches must remain in the coach's box prior to each pitch. And then they can walk out. And then they have to go back. That isn't going to do anything with time.
No, it really isn't. Because
the game can still go as they're walking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. It certainly can. And that's why I'm a little confused by that. It's like, why does it matter? I mean, you're not. I just feel like baseball, and I've said this before, and I've gotten made fun of for it, but baseball is just the most boring sport that you can possibly attend. And I like I said, this doesn't mean I hate Major League Baseball. It doesn't mean I hate baseball. It's just an insanely boring thing. It's an event. It's what you do. It's kind of like the state fair. It's like, all right, guys, we all got to go. Let's get the family. Let's go hang out and go to the baseball game for a couple hours because
there's a whole thing. You tailgate, you go in.
Exactly.
You
there's
get your
so
TGI
many different
Fridays,
things that
Long
you can
Island.
Do. Yeah.
If you're me.
You drink Long Islands at baseball games?
Have you never?
No.
They're the same price as a beer, and you get 10 times as drunk.
Really?
Yeah. Anybody else ever have a Long Island from TGI Fridays at Miller Park?
Gotta do it.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Strawberry, for sure.
Interesting. Aaron wants to know if we wants to know how the lazy river was, by the way.
Dip my toes in, a little cold.
A little cold this morning. Like 20-some degrees outside. We should put a lazy river in the studio. That would be fun.
I agree.
We've got the budget for that.
Like right here, just a little guy.
Yeah, we'll just see every couple of minutes. We'll just see us being like, "Hi."
It might be slower than that, though.
Well, yeah. Well, obviously. Yes, exactly. Well, you can't do it in real time, otherwise people would be like, "Okay, that's ridiculous." Basically. All right. So, Jamie, I need your help for something. Have you ever had to go shopping for a new pillow?
Oddly enough, no. But I
needed the same pillow for 20-some years.
No,
or what?
I mean, when I was a kid, my parents bought them, and then for Christmas this year, they were like, "What do you want for Christmas?" And I was like, "New pillows." And
I'm not talking throw pillows. I'm talking pillows you put your head on.
Yeah.
Like you sleep. You're
some are too hard now, and some are too soft.
Yeah.
So I need to go shopping again.
For pillow shopping. Well, I went pillow shopping last night with my wife because I needed a new pillow. I have the darndest time sleeping at nights, and my pillows are either this thin or they're ridiculous and plushy and all over the place. And I'm just stretching the neck, cracking it, all that fun business. But I walked down the pillow aisle last night and I looked at my wife. I'm like, what do I do? She's like, just feel them and do that. So I'm like, okay. And they had a couple display pillows, and I put my head on one, and my wife looked at me. She's like, do you know how many people have probably put their head on that display pillow? I was like, you're right. So now I have stage 4 melanoma, and I'm about to die basically from all the diseases I just caught. But it's so weird because then you take the pillows the other pillows they have in the cases, and that's what you said. You find a hard spot, and you basically do this, and you're just like, does this work? And it's. I felt so weird doing it. People walking by in the aisle seeing me just basically smacking my head at the pillow because I'm like, well, I want to know how it's gonna feel when I'm laying down, but I'm not gonna also lay on the floor in the store and be like, oh,
you laid on the floor here.
I did. When did I do that? That's irrelevant. I don't know what you're talking about. But pillow shopping is just one of those weird things. It's not like a car. You can't really go you can't go test drive the pillow. Be like, I'm going to take this to my house. I'm going to get all cozy. I'm going to sleep for 5 minutes. I'll be back. Here's the pillow back. I didn't like it too hard, too soft.
Yeah, but is it really?
So weird.
But everybody has to do the awkward pillow test. So I don't think it's
that
that weird.
An accurate test though? Because I will be honest, the way I tested my pillow that I ultimately bought was very misleading from how it actually slept when I got home. But like I said, I was also in a little bit of a rush.
So either you're okay with the germs on the side of your face, or you're okay with a half-ass test.
Basically, yes. Brew also says he totally agrees with you. The only way to drink at Miller Park is the Long Islands, apparently. Corey also says he has a hard time sitting around for 3 hours to watch 18 minutes of gameplay. Aaron says, I bet Jonathan Brewer probably has the best pillow, #purple. I'm not sure what the whole #purple thing has to do with anything, but must be an inside joke between those guys. I don't know. If it was like Purple Rain, I'd understand or something.
Pillows are usually white.
Yeah,
you throw a case on them.
But you get like the silk pillows, or like these are like exotic things from the dodo bird that's been extinct. Like that's how soft my pillow is.
Or maybe they have a cool pillow store that they're not telling us about, where you get to try.
Right? Have you seen the commercials for like the My Pillow or whatever? Like
is it the guy on Pandora that's like, I have the softest pillow.
Yeah.
Just believe me. Call now.
Yeah.
That guy's annoying.
It's like, I don't want to believe you.
Yeah.
I want a pillow. I don't want to be like hit. It's so strange. I don't know. I just was curious because like I said, it was a very odd experience that I had last night, and I'm like, I really don't know where to go from here in terms of buying a pillow, because like it's a need, but as soon as you actually get to that point, you're like, what do I do with my hands?
Yeah. Well, yeah, and I feel like when you find the right pillow, which is probably why I've had my same pillow forever.
True.
Like it's comfy. Like
it
is. I know how to like nuzzle in there.
You have a little relationship with it, and then like when you finally retire that pillow, you're like, we had some good times.
And like then you take the pillowcase off, and you're like, oh god,
and
I need
like
a new one.
Brown, and like there's a small
you just
village
throw one back
living
on, you're
under
like,
there.
I don't even care. I sleep good at night because of this thing.
Exactly. It's like it conforms to your body. And that's the thing. That's why I'm not completely freaking out about my pillow just yet. I'm like, look, I'm going to give it a week. I'm going to give it 2 weeks. My wife told me, she's like, I'll switch pillows with you if you want, because she has a nice, like, half Tempur-Pedic, half, like, soft one. And I'm like, that's the one I used to have. And then she was having neck problems, so I gave that one to her. And then I swapped and took this new pillow, which I'm totally fine with. I think I just need to get more comfortable. And this week's been a little bit stressful, so I haven't been able to sleep as well as I want to. So
I'm looking up when you're supposed to change your pillows.
Oh.
It says 82% of people do not know how often they should replace their pillows and duvet.
Is it supposed to be? Wait.
Pillows should be replaced every 2 years, and duvets should be thrown away after 5.
What's a duvet?
They go over your comforter.
I thought that was the French thing that you use in the bathroom.
It's a bidet.
Bidet, not duvet. I was like, something with a vey. I don't know.
A duvet, like you get a comforter, like usually they're like a down, like white, and you don't want to ruin them. So you put like a duvet cover over
some
them.
People are all about the duvet life, I guess.
They're expensive, so I'm just about
I'm not swanky enough. I'm trying to save up for a lazy river in my house. I don't have time for a duvet in my house, basically. Brew says you need a purple pillow. Look it up. Why don't you do that? Take a look at a purple pillow.
I'm kind of afraid.
Is that? Yeah.
Check out the purple pillow. It is purple.
Huh. Look at that purple pillow. Who'd have guessed? Well, if Brew wants to send us some purple pillows, if you're so excited about what a purple pillow is, Brew, I feel like if you want to be the official pillow sponsor of Brew Sports, I feel like that would be a wonderful thing. We'd appreciate it.
It says no more lumpy foam, stabby feathers, and melty memory foam.
Melty memories?
It looks rather lumpy to me.
Jamie's like, this is a fraud.
You can't even buy it yet?
Well, how do you get it? Well,
pre-order now.
Brew has a purple pillow, so he must know.
100 night, no pressure.
What? 100 night?
Like, you get to try it for 100 nights. Send it back if you don't love it.
That's what a lot of like mattress companies are doing nowadays.
I just saw a mattress company too. Mattress in a box. I do not want my mattress to be a mattress to fit.
Casper does that, right? I'm pretty sure that's who it is. You get a mattress, they like ship to your box.
Yeah, to be a mattress. I don't want to be able to roll it up and then poof.
That's kind of strange.
Yeah. I don't want this purple lumpy pillow.
True. You're absolutely right.
Maybe I do, though.
Maybe. I don't mind. I mean, if it's
for $100, I don't.
What? Nobody should spend. That's ridiculous. Nobody should spend that much money on a pillow, I feel like. All right. One of the things I want to talk about before we bring in our Premier League correspondent, Simon Mitchell, who will be joining us in our next segment, is the obsession, not with pillows or tacos, but doesn't it seem, Jamie, that the sports world just has a stupid obsession with anything that Tony Romo or anything that Jay Cutler does? Yeah,
and there's been the Tony. Why do we love them? Like,
I don't understand.
I'm so obsessed. Like, what's the difference?
And people are thinking too right now, be like, well, they're free agents to an extent. Like, people want to know where they're going. Besides that, like literally the last 10 years,
like who they are.
It's always been like Tony Romo did this. Like national news, Tony Romo threw 3 interceptions. National news, Jay Cutler tripped going down the stairs. Who cares? They're not great quarterbacks. Yeah. They're not elite. If this was Aaron Rodgers, if this was Peyton Manning, guys that actually had a clue and actually, did something with their lives, totally different.
Do you think it's because they're so not the greatest at football that people look at them as more like average, more
like an average man?
Joe? Yeah. Like
maybe.
Tony Romo looks pretty average, like.
He's a pretty, that's the thing.
Got
Neither
kids,
of them are
wife,
really
from Wisconsin.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Neither of them are like exceptionally good looking. I think people did that with Christian Ponder as well too for a while when he was the Vikings quarterback for a little while. Alex Smith when he was the 49ers quarterback for a while as well too. It was just like people would be obsessed about some of these guys. It's like, guys, they're really not that good.
Right.
Like Ryan Fitzpatrick of the Jets. Well, I think he still is with the Jets, or I don't even know what the Jets are doing anymore. He probably got cut with like everybody else. People are only obsessed with him because he had this weird like eating you beard, like it was just huge, and it was just like taking over his face, and people are like, look at his beard. I'm like, yeah, because he's an awful quarterback, so you got to make fun of him some other way. Like people make fun of Andy Dalton because he's got this rocket red hair, basically. I'm like, he's not a good quarterback. People, I feel like, just have to obsess and make fun of certain things. Like I made fun of Jameis Winston because he stole crab legs. I'm like, the crab legler's back at it again. Like people just, but Romo and Cutler have always been this obsession for so many people. It's like, look at him. He did this. He threw an interception. It's like, guys, statistically, they're not that great. And I know some people are like, Tony Romo's actually done really good things. Overall, sure, yes.
Right.
But he's not a great quarterback. He's not going to the Hall of Fame.
And, like, I think the difference, too, is, like, people, love Tony Romo, right? Like, people in Texas love him. Like
it's annoying
people here that love him. Like, there's actually a pretty big Cowboys, like, fan base in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
And he's from Wisconsin. So people here are like, hey, home roots, whatever. Jay Cutler, like, Bears fans don't even like him.
Yeah, if your own team doesn't even like you, how bad are you?
And how did you get that wife when like half of the world does not like you?
Right?
Hey, Kristen Cavallari.
Hey, girl.
Hey, girl.
Thanks for watching, Kristen. Appreciate it. Kind of like, have you seen Christian Ponder's wife, Sam Ponder?
Oh, I just did.
She's on ESPN, I think.
There was just an article about her taking over someone's spot, but I can't remember who.
Yes, for Chris Berman. She's going to be one of the 3 people that helps take over that. Trey Wingo and Susie Salzberger. I forget exactly how to say I forget it. Lisa Salters, I think. I forget exactly. But they're all taking over for Chris Berman for the Monday night, Sunday night football business on ESPN, basically. But Sam Ponder and Christian Ponder. Christian's actually a fairly decent-looking guy, but Sam Ponder's a super successful reporter, and their daughter that they have is just absolutely adorable. It's like, Christian, you're basically, to an extent, a failure in your career, but you still got the great wife, still got the great life as a whole, too. I think he's like a third-string quarterback in Oakland now, sort of a thing. So it's like he's definitely dropped off the totem pole. And Jay Cutler and Tony Romo's careers look like they're moving that way as well, too. So it's like I just don't get the obsession why so many people are basically in love with Romo or Cutler, basically.
Yeah, I guess I don't either.
Very strange. Very strange at all. Aaron says he emoji hearts Romo. I don't know why. I'm sorry, Aaron. I feel like you could do so much more with your love. Do you heart Romo?
No. I was like saying for Aaron, like I can relate to him. Like I love him. He's the average Joe. You're not an average Joe though, Aaron.
All right, we're going to run to a break, but when we come back, we will have our Premier League correspondent, Simon Mitchell, joining us live right here on the program. So stay tuned. It is The Morning Brew. She's Jamie. I'm Baxter, back with more on Brew Sports right after this. Welcome back to The Morning Brew here live on Brew Sports. I am Baxter Colburn.
And I'm Jamie Evers.
All right, Jamie, you had a beef with somebody in the break that you needed to throw out really fast. You want to get that off your chest really quick?
Carrie Clark hating on my laptop cover. It was $12 from Amazon, and it's cute. And if you'd like one, I'll order it for you.
You should. Mm-hmm. Come on, Carrie. Get with the cute things, I guess.
It's cute.
It's cute. No, I mean, it makes total sense. That's what you need to do to stay cute. You got to stay with the times. I mean, everybody has their own things, I guess, that they like, and I totally understand that and respect that, of course. So
thanks, Baxter.
You're absolutely welcome. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. It's not bad. I don't have a cover on my laptop, and people aren't, making fun of me.
Right. What would you rather me have? Like,
I don't know, Justin Bieber's face?
A giraffe print?
Giraffe print is too basic. Don't be that girl.
Right.
I think granite looks nice.
This is actually pretty basic.
It looks pretty normal, though. Pretty good overall.
Right.
It does. All right, let's move along with the program, Jamie. Let's get to our English Premier League correspondent, Simon Mitchell, joining us now on the program. Simon, good morning, sir. How are you?
Hello, everybody. Sorry, it's good afternoon here in the UK. I'm good. How are you?
Doing well, Simon. We're excited to have you on the program. A couple of quick questions here for you this morning regarding the Premier League. As many folks know, the transfer season just wrapped up just a couple of short days ago. Your general thoughts about how the Premier League transfer season finished up with all the players coming and going?
Overall, it was a pretty quiet transfer window. Nothing huge happened. The biggest stories really were more along the lines of Oscar leaving Chelsea to go and play in China, and the long-running saga of the potential of Diego Costa leaving Chelsea to join Oscar in China as well. But But overall, it was a very quiet, very dull transfer window for us.
And I'm a little surprised by both of those players leaving Chelsea too. I mean, Chelsea's top of the Premier League right now. They've had a lot of good success. Obviously 10 points clear of Tottenham in second place. To lose two high quality players like that, is that going to affect Chelsea down the stretch?
Well, just to confirm, Diego Costa hasn't actually gone. The only other Chelsea player that left was John Obi Mikel.
Oh, right.
So it was only Oscar and Mikel who left. But Oscar really wasn't playing underneath Antonio Conte. Conte's not had any European football this season to worry about, so he's only really been able to play. He's only played the same 11 players once a week continuously for the whole season.
And consistency is key, though, as well, too, in a lot of sports. I mean, especially when it comes to a sport like soccer, being able to have that same consistent lineup certainly makes a big difference.
Oh, very much so, and we saw it with Leicester City last season when they won the league. They barely changed their team from the team that started winning in November properly all the way through to the end of the season. And also Liverpool a couple of years ago under Brendan Rodgers, when neither of these clubs have had any European competition. They've only really had 38 league games and a couple of cup matches to play, not like the 65, 70 games that the likes of Tottenham, Arsenal and Manchester City will have to play this season.
Simon, who do you think has been, which team has been the biggest disappointment this year so far?
Oh, that's without a shadow of a doubt, it's Leicester City. They were champions of England last season in the Champions League for the first time as well. And until they beat Liverpool on Monday, they were in the relegation zone. Mm-hmm. They had a good chance of going down. But they sacked the manager Claudio Ranieri, which was a shock all around after what he achieved last season. But the owners have said that Premier League football and the money that generates is more important than keeping a manager who won them the league in his position.
And that makes a lot of sense too. And I saw this morning too. I didn't see the official details. Did he give some of his money back from his contract to something to do with one of the the Leicester City's charity organization or something like that? I didn't fully understand exactly what he was doing with some of the contract money that he had.
No, you're correct. He was given a £3 million severance pay by Leicester, which is an awful lot of money for losing a lot of football.
True. It's like, hey, thanks. Here's $3 million. Now go do something with your life.
Well, it's what happens in football. It's how they can get away with sacking people so easily. They just give them a huge chunk of money and say, on your bike.
Yeah.
But, he gave £1.5 million to the Leicester City Charitable Foundation.
Oh.
Wow, that's incredible.
Without even being prompted to or being told by the board. He was a very much loved man in the city. Everybody in Leicester absolutely loved this guy. They were outside his house crying after he got sacked. But football's a big, big money sport, and staying in the Premier League is going to give you hundreds of £1 million of TV money every season. So money talks.
Yeah, you're absolutely right about that.
Do you have any overall thoughts on Manchester United this season?
My thoughts on Manchester United?
Yes.
They've got a good chance of getting back into the Champions League, but I think they're going to throw all of their eggs into the cup basket this year. They won the Community Shield at the start of the season, which is where the FA Cup winners and the league winners play each other. Mm-hmm. They won that. Jose Mourinho does what Jose Mourinho does, which is win the League Cup in his first season. He did it for Chelsea on both occasions he was there. He's in the Europa League, and he's got a good chance of winning that. And he's also in the FA Cup, and if he can get past Chelsea, I think Manchester United could win all of the cups that they're left in and still finish fourth in the league as well.
Interesting. Yeah, I was going to say, point total-wise, there's really not a big shot for them to capture a league title at this point just because of how they started off the season. But, I mean, if you can win a couple of other, league cups and even some of the other competitions that they're involved in right now and still get a Champions League spot at the end of the season, I think Manchester United fans overall have to be fairly pleased with a result like that, and especially the first year with Zlatan and Pogba and Jose Mourinho as well.
Well, Paul Pogba's been almost a disappointment. He's shown that he has got $100 million worth of football player in him, but he's not been that player that everybody expected it would be. And Jose Mourinho has had to rely on the goals from Ibrahimovic, but also the likes of Michael Carrick at 36, Juan Mata, who he forced out at Chelsea, Mkhitaryan came good but then got injured. We consider that he's not even played Luke Shaw at all season. Wayne Rooney's barely got a look in. So he's had to change things at Manchester United. But Paul Pogba, yes, whilst he has flashes of brilliance, he hasn't been consistently excellent all year.
Now, I know you and I talked about this a couple of months ago, Simon, so I want to just bring it back up just so you can gloat on international TV here, basically. But how's Alvaro Negredo doing so far this season?
Alvaro Negredo. Well, Middlesbrough, as a team who he plays for, have only managed to score 19 goals all season in the league. Now, when you put that into perspective, Crystal Palace, who are below them, and Swansea City, who are above them, have both scored almost twice as many goals.
Yeah.
Now, out of those goals, Negredo, I believe, has got 5. Not the 15 that you would say he had before Christmas. I believe he got 5.
I believe that was what it was, yeah, something of that nature. But so a bit of a disappointing year for Middlesbrough overall. But I felt like I had to bring that up briefly, Simon, just so you could have a little bit of satisfaction with that. Since Spurs are 10 points off the top, and I had to give you something to throw back in my face, since your Spurs are likely not going. Well, they still might contend for a championship, but I think a lot would have to go right for them at this point in the season, right?
Well, let's be honest. We're 10 points behind Chelsea. Chelsea are flying. It's their title to lose. From my perspective as a Spurs fan, it's an improvement on last season. We're playing better football, more consistent football. We've got a huge, huge change coming next season where we won't be at our home ground of White Hart Lane.
Correct.
Because it's been rebuilt. I would get anybody who wants to just jump onto the Tottenham website and have a look at what they're doing there, because we're going to be hosting 2 NFL games per season for the next 10 years at our new ground. So if you are a big NFL fan and you want to see where your team's going to come and play for the 2019 season, just have a look at Tottenham's new stadium. It's exceptional. So, yeah, our plan is get into the top 4 and try and stay there for a couple of years whilst we build our new stadium.
Fantastic. All right, Simon, we appreciate the insight this morning on the Morning Brew. Where can people find you on social media to keep track of all your witty banter about the soccer and football world?
Well, you can find me on Twitter at Mitch the Coach, so I'm on there, and I'm also available on Facebook as well.
Sounds good. Simon Mitchell, always a pleasure, sir. We'll talk to you soon.
Now, have an excellent day, guys. Speak to you soon.
Thank you very much. Simon Mitchell, one of our Premier League and World Soccer correspondents, joining us here on the Morning Brew. All right, Jamie, transitioning out of soccer to a kind and lighthearted way to end the week. A little bit of a tearjerker, some folks might say, but something happening in, I'm spacing now where the teams are even located. Montreal. There we go. Montreal. The Canadiens last night paying tribute to one of their very own. Can you give us a little bit more insight about that?
Yeah, so last June, Piqué Subban, Shea Weber from the Nashville Predators traded. So Piqué Subban plays for the Nashville Predators now. Shea Weber plays up in Montreal. It was a huge, huge trade for both teams. And has since then just come with a lot of #yes drama. Not really. But
a little bit of drama, but not too bad.
But Subban returned to Montreal last night for the first time since the trade, and they played a beautiful, beautiful tribute video, resulting in him bawling on the ice like a baby, resulting in me bawling like a baby on my couch last night. It was beautiful. Everyone loves him there. You can't.
How do you not?
You can't not. The guy is great in the community. He's a big personality on the ice. Everybody loves him. It was nice. And when Shea came back to Nashville for the first time too, they
they do a little something for him
did the
too?
Same thing, yeah. But I mean, how can you hate PK?
How do you feel about the name Shea? Just out of curiosity.
I would picture like someone with like a puka necklace.
What's
and
I don't even know what
those
a puka
like little like Shelly.
Oh, my name's Shay.
Yeah.
From like Long Beach or
yeah,
something.
I have
something
my
like that.
longboard and I'm about to go surfing. That's what I think. Not
because
like
I know one of the lead actresses in Pretty Little Liars, Shay Mitchell, of course, has made a big name for herself. I don't know if you're a PLL gal or not. The fact that I know apparently seem to know
PL gal?
PP or PLL. PLL. The fact that I seem to know more about this than you do is a bit bothering.
Is that the XOXO guy? No, that's Gossip Girl.
No,
never mind.
No, that was Who's A and all that fun stuff. Or,
yeah.
You know.
Okay, yeah.
Anyway,
not a Pretty
I
Little
like PLL apparently, so that's not important. But Shay Mitchell is one of the actresses in there. There's other athletes.
Is that a guy or a girl?
It's a girl.
Okay.
Google her. She's wonderful. Great actress. Anyway, but yeah, I've heard Shay used for last names. I've heard Shay used for first. As a whole, I mean, especially in sports, I don't feel like it's a very intimidating name. Like, I've heard Shea is a last name. Like, there's a soccer player for Vancouver, Breck Shea, and he's very much that, like,
but maybe that's, like, the good thing. Like, Shea Weber, like,
I'm not going to name my kid Shea.
Yeah, but then you see him, and you're like, all right, he can shoot a puck at 108 miles an hour. You could have the name Tracy if you wanted to. I don't care. Yeah.
You could have a name Jamie for all we care.
Right. Spelled all weird.
Yeah, like JAIQEE, some weird thing. All right, I don't even know. All right, Jamie, as we get ready to wrap things up here for our first official week of Brew Sports and as the Morning Brew, what are your final thoughts? What are your takeaways? Do you have any hashtag guest dramas or Jordy shout-outs that you got to get off your chest before we go?
No drama, actually. No drama. Yeah, surprisingly. But I'm excited.
Drama-less.
Yeah, I'm excited for all this. It's my first time ever doing something like this, so thank you for the opportunity.
Absolutely.
Excited to be here on Brew Sports and cram my little brain with more sports knowledge than ever expected. And
sports.
Keep waking up at 5 a.m. because it's so fun.
I love it.
But, yeah, I'm excited, so thank you. And I'm excited to, Carrie, this laptop cover is not changing anytime soon. So.
She's coming for you, Carrie. She's coming for you. When Carrie comes on, Carrie's actually one of our college football correspondents. So when Carrie comes on to talk about college football, we'll dedicate at least half the segment to you two just going at it for the granite laptop cover. Because all laptop covers, hashtag laptop covers matter, basically.
They do.
Maybe that's our yes drama moment of the day, where you and Carrie had a small beef. Little dispute. All right. Well, she's Jamie Ebers. I'm Baxter Colburn. Stay tuned for the next show today on Brew Sports. It will be halftime with myself and Tanner Berg coming up at 11 a.m. Central Time live right here on Brew Sports. You guys have a great weekend. We'll see you on the Morning Brew on Monday live right here at 7 a.m. Central. Have a great weekend, everybody.